Well, we're gonna see how this does today. We're opening up a field. It's a beautiful Sunday morning. The sun is kind of hidden behind the clouds here. And we're cutting corn mazes. This field is on a little bit of a side hill. We need to be able to make sure that we can get trucks in and off the road here safely. So we have cut a roadway up along the north edge. Now we're going over to the south edge. And we've got, looks like, Fitzy behind Sarge here, and I can't tell who's behind Fitzy. Fitzy's running the C5 with the Aulick today. We've got Sarge on the Western Star here. And I don't know if another truck has entered the field or not. So we're going to see how she rolls here on a Sunday. We have to get this field opened up, and then I should be able to maybe pay attention to some of the comments here today. We have loaded 4 trucks already in this field. They have left, and now I'm working right up to the edge here to get around the south side of this field. We're going to slow our ground speed down so that we can get right up next to the edge, and therefore we can keep an eye on tree limbs and whatever other obstructions that have fallen into the field in the last few months since this corn was planted. This is a Brevant BMR variety. We do have some spots in the field that have been affected by northern corn leaf blight. We had fungicide applied to everything. However, there was just a couple of spots that they didn't want to go in and go back to grab. There were little triangular pieces, and I'm kind of glad they didn't spray some of the areas that they didn't spray, because it gives us an outlook on.
Did you hear me? You gotta cut across the street with that driveway. Can't get out of there with the trailers.
It's getting there. So, yeah.
The street trucks had enough trouble making it.
It's all better now. I cut a roadway on a diagonal, and we're getting there. So, yeah, so there's some spots in this field that are brown instead of green, and it's a little drier, so we're going after it. But, yeah, so we usually do these live streams at evening when things slow down a little bit. But I had a little bit of time here earlier. I decided I would get myself set up. Lo and behold, I ran into technical difficulties. So I had to kind of set myself up after the fact. Kind of a pain in the butt here when you deal with that, when you're trying to do things on the fly, but we're managing. So we're going nice and slow so that everybody can respond to the quick and rapid movements of the chopper. We're going at a nice slow pace of 3 miles per hour. On the last few loads, got some down corn up here. On the last few loads, right when we switched trucks, twice when we switched trucks, we ran into an issue where the head plugged. I had to stop the head, radio, hey, I need to stop, went a little ways, Got tree branches. Went a little ways. Get stopped, back the head out. Proceed on the way. But there's a lot of wheels moving when you're doing that kind of thing, especially switching trucks on the go, on a hill nonetheless. Now we're down in next to the woods. This corn, very poor. Been shaded all summer. Green, very green. Not an ear to speak of on the corn. That's all right. It's only a little bit of it. It's not feeding into the head too great. We might have to stop, clean out the plug. Yeah, hold up, Sarge. I gotta clean out. So we're gonna back that slug out. We're gonna throw this right over into the dingweeds because we do not want to get his windows dirty. Corn ain't got an ear on it anyways. It ain't worth putting in the trailer. Alright. So, make sure he gets under the spout. Get the spout back in place. And we'll get on with it here. Hey Sarge, I'm going to cut right to the... never mind. I'm going to start veering to my left. And I'll try to get you... what am I going to do? I've got to try to get you over to that spot where we came on a diagonal a little bit here so that you can get out. So I'm going to start moving over to my left, and then you can come right up in alongside me on the go. So we got to climb a bit of a hill here. So we've already cut up in front of us. He'll start moving over to our right-hand side as soon as we get a lane of traffic opened up for him. We'll swing on the go here. Yeah, buddy. All right, so there we are. We can move you guys right over here like so. See how that is. So I ended up coming across up in front of us here on a diagonal, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to make him meet that spot or not. But it was more or less a direct route right to the driveway. If we get him loaded, then we might have to slide Fitzy in behind us to get a roadway cut to get over to that diagonal spot where we came down through. So we'll see how this goes for a Sunday morning live stream here anyways. We'll keep on keeping on. We've got 4 tractor trailers running today, 7 straights. We should be able to get a fair amount of corn chopped here on this Sunday. Kind of nice that it's slightly overcast. The bright sun plays with the camera a little bit, and yeah. Let me fill the back, Sarge. I got the front full. Grab the gear there. He's trying to get her to walk up through there. And she's clawing a little bit. We got a little bit to put on the rear end here. And we'll get that loaded, and then I can't tell. I can look at my coverage here, but yeah. We've got him almost full. what we're going to do is we're going to slide Fitzy in behind us. I think I've got to cut a few more rows to get him over. I think, anyways. Alright, so he's full. Hey, hold in place there, Sarge. Fitz, get in behind me. And where we came on a diagonal down through, kind of where the spreader drove, I'm going to cut right over to that, Sarge, so that you can get right out on the road. Once we hit that, Fitz, maybe come over in behind me. Or alongside me, rather. Alright, so we're going to move the Fitz there in behind us. Get him lined up. He's gonna come in behind. Ah, ain't got a radio. Well, Davey, do you have a radio? Why don't you come up into place here?
Fitzy just called me. He said he doesn't have a radio. That's why he can't hear you.
Okay. So, we were able to communicate there. Fitzy forgot to grab a portable radio from the office. We have just switched over into two-way radios. We've got, I think there's 4 or 5 trucks wired with them so far, along with the chopper. And Fitzy forgot to grab a portable from the office. So he'll have to make sure he grabs one when he gets back to the shop, or else he's not going to be able to communicate here. So we'll get this cut up to where we're going to have roadways going this way and that way. We've got one of the guys that he always takes the wrong roadway, and he's like a rat going through a tunnel. He goes this way and that way. He'll take every turnaround that we make. He'll take the longest route possible to get to the chopper. So we are almost to the point where we came down through the middle of this field, and what this is going to do is it's going to allow the tractor trailer to hit the road straight, and then we've got to get things opened up a little better by the driveway. When we come right straight in out of the driveway along the south side of the field, going in a counterclockwise rotation, it puts the trucks on a side hill. So we had to cut down through the middle to stay on level, anticipating on full trucks leaving in that pathway. Alright, the head's gonna clean out. Davey can start coming slowly around. Alright, so he'll come around, and we'll have him loaded before we even get to the roadway here. So another thing that's nice about doing these earlier live streams, we can kind of catch some of you people that are on the other side of the pond, if you will. And then you're 3, 4, 5 hours ahead of us. But there's a lot of you that are probably at church, or a lot of people that are at church right now, so they're missing out. We'll run this live stream as long as I can here, as long as I can manage it. And that we have a decent amount of cell service, internet connection. We ought to be able to maintain that good enough. So yeah, now we got to get Fitzy turned around in the other direction. Had we brought him up through here, he'd have been loaded by the time we would have got to the road, and then it would have been a lot easier turning this 10-wheeler around than it would turning that tractor-trailer around. We're going to have some gaps in our straight rows here once we get done. Yep, you're loaded. Alright, there's Fitzy with the straight trailer with the C5. So him and Jared hauled manure yesterday. They got the one manure pit down pretty good, the barn pit. And he unhooked the manure trailer and hooked back onto this aulic. Jared, he has been running his Mac. Excuse me. Has been running his Mac. However, he has an issue with the rear end now. He had the rear rebuilt here this, I don't know when it was, a year ago. And that has since failed. He pulled that apart last night, popped it out, and yeah. So, I don't know what I'm going to do here. We are kind of at a dead end. I got to call Fitzy here, so yeah, we're mixed up. We got to let this truck get out. Yeah. We're all monkeyed up here. We are all screwed up. Yeah. Alright, we're going to let him back up. We got to let him regroup. And we need to, yeah. We need to let him get backed up, get into place. We've got some time to screw around here because we don't have any other trucks here. Would have been nice turning the straight truck around. Come on back, driver. Come on back. Yeah, he's doing good. He's getting her. He's getting her. He's getting her. Perfect. Look at that driving right there. Oh boy. That's some good driving. See there? Yeah. He's getting her done. Very nice. Very nice. That's some good driving right there. 46-foot long trailer. Very nice. Alrighty. I like it. I like it a lot. That's some good driving right there, buddy. Alrighty. Yeah, the one thing about this aulic trailer is it's a little clumsy. Man, she's a little longer than the other ones. Them Moss trailers are 38 foot long, and the axles are set forward a little bit, so they are a little easier to maneuver. So this is the first part we went into in this field. I didn't go right to the edge because it gets kind of steep. So I come down off the edge of the field a little bit. However, where I ended up was on a little bit of a side hill. It's amazing how you forget where your side hills are, how steep they are. until you get out into the middle of the cornfield. And then you're like, oh crap, we didn't leave a good enough exit point for the loaded trucks to get out on. So we can take our time loading Fitzy here because I don't have any other trucks that have entered the field yet. I got a part-time guy that was supposed to start an hour ago. He's not here yet. He's probably got to make his lunch and do all that other stuff. But, oh well. Oh well. It is what it is. So we'll chunk this out anyway. This is a spot right here where it gets kind of tippy for the loaded trucks to come back up through. But we'll just have to continue to open up the rest of this field here. Once we get a few more trucks here, we've got good enough roadways made. Alright, we've got our guy is here now. There we go. It'll work out nicely. We get some corn in this back hole here on this trailer. Fitzy's watching in his mirror. He can see the pipe on the chopper, and he can kind of tell the angle that I have it at. And he tries to get himself moved accordingly. So it looks like he's going to be going down over this hill with a full load on it. He'll have to walk back up that other side loaded. But the C5 will handle it. We're going to take him over to our right here. Head didn't feed right away there. I had to stop the head right when the wad went into it, and then start it up and let it go easy. So yeah, we're making corn mazes, huh? All right. So once we get a little further here, maybe I can glance down at some comments. Good morning to everybody. I see there's quite a few comments in there. A lot of you are taking the time to type out a comment. And I apologize. I'm letting them go right by here. We've got a little bit left to get on this guy here. You got to keep the corn in the trailer, right? Cornering with a full load is awesome. We're going to slow her down a little bit. Alright, we've got a straight truck coming in behind Fitzy, and then we've got Jared up behind that straight truck. Oh, she's leaning. Leaning pretty good. Yeah. Hey, Chris, did you grab a radio? I forgot your truck has one. Fitzy needs your radio. You could give it to him. Chris, can you hear me? Chris, can you hear me? Yeah, now Fitzy's gone past you. I forgot. You've got a radio in there. That radio that's on the dash works. Alrighty. So, let me call Fitzy. Hey, Siri, call Fitzy. Hey, stop up there. Chris has got a radio with him. You can grab it. That Freightliner's, I forgot. That's hardwired already. All right. I'll wait for you. Yeah. All right. So Fitzy forgot to grab a radio. I forgot Chris already had one in his truck. And he's going to give the one that he grabbed to Fitzy. So we'll have to stop up here. We're dealing with some down corn. Which what happens is the wind gets whirling around in the corner of these fields, and occasionally it'll knock it down. I don't know where Fitzy went. He walked up that other side yet or not? Just to stop right up ahead of us here, and he can grab it. Yeah, he is stopped right at the corner. He's going to go ahead and grab a red diddlio. Need to be very careful. I don't want him near that head, because if he falls off the side of that, he's going over the passenger side. Dangerous around corn and a piece of machinery that cuts corn. A lot of guys have been injured from tripping in corn, and the other thing is these spinners, these knives that are on these heads are dangerous. Okay. Alright, so we've got, if I had to pick, let me get my glasses on now. I can start reading some of these comments. If I had to pick, would you rather have straight trucks or have tractor trailers? Well, there's a good place for both of them. After you get a field opened up and you're not playing in the mud, tractor trailers all day long if you've got a good enough guy driving them. It is a lot of work loading a tractor trailer if the guy can't put it in the spot he needs to. When the guy driving the truck ends up sitting right in the same spot a straight truck does, they're having to do a lot of over-the-shoulder work, and it gets to be a pain in the ass. And the straight trucks, they work nice for getting around small fields, opening it up. The trailers work good for opening it up until they get almost full and you're having to go around a corner. It's easier to open up around when you're going around a corner and have it go in the box if you can put the spout down a little bit. Your trajectory angle changes that quite a bit, and it puts it right where you want it. Yeah, Kemper heads would grab somebody quickly. I don't know how many times I have to tell my guys, because like right now, loading this straight truck, the head is right near the operator cab. So if something were to happen and you stop, say if there was a tree limb in front of the head, he gets out right at where the corn head is and trips and falls. guess where he's going. I mean, the head's not on, but if the hey, back up, Jared. Let me go up that right-hand side. However, the knives, which are on the bottom, they are. It takes a long time for them to slow down and stop. So that, yeah. All right, we've got truck 9 after Jared. You can hear the 900 bark a little bit right there. So we should be able to get Jared up by the driveway. And if we can get him up by the driveway, back again, that will open that area up. All right, there we go. Oh, let's see. How many tons of corn do we do every year? We do all of them. I know that's kind of a lame answer. We do a little over 40,000 tons of corn silage. So we've got quite a bit left to do here. So yeah. Yeah, if you could hit the thumbs up, that would be very much appreciated. We're having a little issue here with the old forces to be. After you get to the 100,000 subscriber mark, the old mother YouTubes here, they have what is called a play button. Well, I'm not eligible to receive the play button. I don't meet their exact criteria. Now, I had 100,000 subscribers here back, I don't know if it was at Thanksgiving time or at Christmas time. So we're moving up on 9-10 months anyways. Once I hit the 100,000 subscriber mark, I kind of waited for an email to be sent and, say, hey, you were able to receive that, go through this procedure to start the process of receiving. What's that?
You were going to be able to stay here?
Yeah, I'm going to stay here until I get into the green stuff, but this field is blighted. Headlands on a couple of the other ones are, and then we'll go back to Hudson's. And then once Hudson's is done, we'll go to Brinks. So, we got some interference with this radio. I don't know what it is. Yeah, we're going to stay here until I run out of dry corn, so it'll be until further notice. Yeah, so, yeah, I haven't met their criteria. I have emailed them. I went through a little chat session with one of the higher-ups at YouTube. They evaluated things, and they said you're not eligible. So I read through the all the reasonings or the possible reasonings for not receiving or not being eligible for that award, and one of the eligibility things to meet the criteria is you can't have received a strike in the past 12 months. Well, if you recall, I received a warning I believe it was last July. it was my youngest daughter. She was 6 at the time. She is 17 now. The video was 9 or 10 years old. It was her just steering the wheel in the combine, sitting in the combine seat, just steering the wheel on the combine. That's all it was. And they flagged that video got flagged. They took it down and gave me a warning. And they said that I was endangering the welfare of a child, and you have to go through this whole thing where you need to, make sure you understand what they mean by, endangering the welfare of a child and not putting a child in harm's way and all that crap. And I'm like, what are you talking about here? I mean, okay. Well, it wasn't maybe 3 weeks later, and they flagged another one of my videos got flagged. Now, these weren't videos that were just put out. These were videos that were, they were older videos. So the next video that I got an actual strike on, because when you get a warning, you've got to remain, you have to have good behavior, be on good behavior for 90 days. So you're out of probation period for 90 days, and you cannot have any other warnings. You get another warning, and they call it a strike. That strike lasts for 90 days. And I was taken off of YouTube for a week, and then during that 90 days, if you receive a second strike, you're off YouTube for 2 weeks. Again, another 90 days has to go by. And then you get a third strike. They close up shop, you lose your channel, whatever. So I went through during that time, and I turned most of the videos that had any kids in them, come back some, to private. So the video that I received a strike on was when Andrew was chisel plowing, and he did a live stream while he was chisel plowing. Real dangerous. He might hurt himself during the live stream. It's not like it's a freaking skit. Some of these parents, they'll do skits, where they'll set up a prop more or less, and they'll want to show how good their kid is, and they do just a 10-second video of them, riding a bike or running a lawnmower or what have you like that, and it's all, more or less a staged thing. If they actually watched the live stream, they would see that this is for real here. He's operating this machine, multitasking, and he's doing it. He's doing a good job at it. So that I got a strike for that, and because I have received a couple of, I've had a warning and a strike. Apparently, I no longer meet the criteria in which to be able to get that silver play button. So that has made me a little mad, to say the least here. So we're dealing with that. I've got to get a hold of somebody else at YouTube and see what the heck is going on. I have done a little bit of research. There is this one guy that has a channel where he has like 4, 5, 6 million subscribers. And he did a little thing where he started up a new channel, and he just asked his subscribers, he just said, let's do a little experiment here. I want you to go to a new channel that I just made, and I want you to subscribe to that channel. And within like, I don't know if I think it was like 20 days. Maybe it was 20 minutes. I don't know. Or 20 hours, rather. Might have been 20 hours. He had over 140,000 subscribers. He didn't produce one video. And he was like, hey, I want my play button. Well, he didn't. Guess what? He didn't meet the criteria either in order to receive that silver play button. But at any rate, yeah. So enough talk about that. I need to get back to the comment. Adam Poirier, yes. Yeah, this whole crowd here with the left-wing leaning politics, if you will, is getting a little silly, and we probably should stop the discussion right then and there. For those of you that have watched this channel long enough, it probably has something to do with more or less it probably has something more to do with the design that I planted in the cornfield than it has anything to do with endangering the welfare of a child. Yeah. And we will just leave it at that. Apparently you can't voice your opinion on anything that's related to politics unless you're leaning in one direction over the other. So, and I get it. It hurts some people's feelings if you aren't under the same belief that they are, and it gets everybody butthurt. Let's face it, 50% of us lean one way, and 50% of us lean the other way. So you're gonna offend somebody, and it's best to just leave the politics right out of it. Well, yeah, you're right, Adam. But they own the platform, so if what we need is a more center of the road platform that's as large as this one to let everybody just kind of have a more free and open speech, if you will. But yeah, no politics, just farming. yeah, I get it. I understand. So we'll leave it at that. We'll get back to some more chopper talk here, eh? Oh, let's see. I think I've seen all the trucks here so far. I think Sarah's at the end of the line, so I do not know how much wait time we're going to have in between this last load and the first truck that's due to be back here. But at any rate, we'll keep on keeping on. I got to count everybody here. Yeah, we've got everybody rolling. So we might seed this down with we might plant wheat in here too. So yeah. But my moisture's actually climbing a little bit here. So we might just open all these fields up and roll on out of here too. Getting up into the high 60s here. Which I don't like seeing that, but it is what it is. We've got a deer up in front of us. Apparently bow season opened up in our area today. Or was it yesterday? Do I still smoke cigars? No, I don't. Well, yeah, you're right, Buster. I mean, there's more dangerous things that kids could be doing out there. I mean, my kids could be shot up at a shopping mall, um, or some senile person in a shopping parking lot somewhere could run them over as they're walking into a store with my wife or something. Or they could be hit on the road by somebody not paying attention, screwing around on their freaking phone or whatever. So yeah, there's a lot more dangerous things than operating modern farm machinery. Now, if you're operating older machinery, as all of us did years ago, we did it ourselves. Our fathers did it. Our grandfathers operated all this stuff as well, and the equipment back then was not nowhere near as safe as it is today. Do you ever do a video of the new barn? Yeah, I did a video of that new barn when it was finished. Chuck Potter wants to know if we do longer day corn for just silage. We start with the longer day stuff for silage. The longest day we plant is 114 day. I shouldn't say that. A majority of it is 114 day. I did have some 115 day, but there wasn't as much of that. The grain corn, the longest amount of days we go is about 105. And then we go from 105 down to 90, what is it, 97, 99, somewhere around there. Let's see, watching from Camellus. Whereabouts are you at, Austin? We are right at the end of 695 here. Bear season is now underway. Yeah. Screen extensions on the straight trucks. Most of our straight trucks are 7 foot tall. Trying to think, we've got Sarah's truck is 6 foot. And the one that Bill has is 6 foot, but they're 25 foot long. The short and truck 9 is only 6 foot tall as well. The shorter sides, we like those for the combine, the grain buggy rather. The grain buggy gets over that shorter side a little better, and putting extensions on and taking them off all the time is a pain in the ass. So yeah. We don't really see any wild pigs around here. I'm sure they're out there, but we generally don't see them. Rusty, what's going on? Let's see. We don't plant any sweet corn. We used 2 years ago, but we don't plant any sweet corn. Well, the reason why we contract out our spraying is they can get to it in a more timely manner. They went into this corn 3 different times. They sprayed herbicide, and they went in and dropped tube nitrogen on, and then they went in and there's a deer right there. See it? See that deer? Right. Yeah, you guys probably can't quite see it, can you? Right there, just on the other side of the corn. Right there. Yeah. So that's why we contract out our spraying. Yeah, what did I say? Herbicide, drop tube, nitrogen, and then they went in and fungicide on all this corn. Let's see. Baylor Bryant demoed a 9900 last Wednesday. It really eats up the corn. Demoed a 990 Klaus too. Hope to be done chopping. So the real question is, which chopper did you like better? We got Rob watching from Beeville. Rick Perry says there's some wild boars up in his old neck of the woods. So, deer hunting from a deer. Yeah. Moose hunt digging potatoes, really? Yeah, they had, it's funny when you see the deer come out from the edge of the woods into the field and they're like, what the heck? Where did the corn go? This looks different. Yeah, we don't see much. Yeah. Well, the girls have been working right along here. I haven't been videoing much. Just this chopping gets monotonous, to do a video day after day after day on, or a video after video on. It's just the same crap day in and day out. No, Sarah and Alex are not twins. They are, what are they, 3 years apart, I believe. Justin, what's going on? Yeah, it's been a while since you've been able to catch a live stream. How is the parlor working out? Baylor Brian, he liked the deer, but he was driving beside it. So, the difference between BMR. So, BMR is a brown midrib. It is more highly digestible than your standard conventional corn. It doesn't look any different. Well, it does look a little different. If you happen to notice, the stalk itself, the stubble that we're leaving is a little browner. You might be saying, geez, this corn is, it should be prime as far as moisture goes, because it's a little bit of, it's starting to dry down. It looks a little different as it starts to get to this stage, but it's actually, it holds its moisture a little different than standard corn. Driving by it, you can't tell what the difference is between it, but it's more highly digestible. In other words, the cow is going to be able to utilize more of the plant to produce milk. It costs a little bit more for the seed. It doesn't yield quite as well or quite as good as a conventional silage, but we're just hoping every year we grow it that we keep seeing the same benefits that we've seen in the previous years. It makes for a better feed, more healthier feed for the higher producing dairy cows. We feed it to our close-up dry cows and all of the milk cows. We also put the conventional silage in the ration as well. So we've got Bill. He's one of our part-time guys. Big Bill. And alongside us with truck 15. Now this box here is 25 foot long and it is only 6 foot tall. This box originated on truck 6. When we bought truck 6, it was a short wheelbase chassis, however, with a long frame. when we put the box on that truck, we didn't have much of an overhang at all, and this box was 22 feet. We later changed the wheelbase on that truck so that we could put a lift axle on it. We moved the wheels back, put a lift axle on it, and then we stretched this box. We cut it about a foot back from the front, and then we put 3 foot into it to make the box longer. And then all of our chassis are basically the same. They're about the same wheelbase. The boxes are all about the same length, 25 foot for a majority of them. Truck 8, 9, and 18 are 22. Truck 8 is 20 foot, 9 inches. This box here was also on truck 10, which we ran through an auction here a couple months ago, and we sold that through the auction with a Husky manure tank on it. And the guy that bought it, he wanted the box too, but I told him he couldn't have the box until we were done doing silage with it this fall. So I don't know, we might have this box for sale when we get done, if he doesn't choose to take it. I don't know if he's a viewer of the channel or not. I assume he is. I was getting emails left and right before that auction took place, and then he said he was the winner of the auction. Our crop's good. For the most part, they are pretty good. Considering what they went through, a dry spell, then a wet spell. Now the weather that we're getting has just been phenomenal as far as the conditions in which they're real nice and dry. Makes for a real nice fall to get corn chopped here and get these trucks in and out of the field. Usually we deal with mud after a week or 10 days of chopping. You get spoiled, then it starts raining, and then you have to dump cart everything for a while until the rain moves through the system, or the rainy weather gets moved through the area. Then you get back to dry conditions again, and then by then usually the corn starts getting dry on you. However, we're finding ourselves jumping around all over the place, just trying to find something that has the right moisture. So we got Bill full. Mike is just coming in off of the roadway. He is just pulling in the field, which is right there. So again, we've got this field all cut up in every which frickin' direction. We've got corn mazes all over the place, yeah. There. So. Is our truck body systems, well, they are, our mounting systems are all the same. In other words, we can take a box off the trucks that have slide systems on them anyways. Our bolt patterns are all in the same spot. So we can swap a box off of one slide rail system, put it on another one, and the bolts all line up. However, we built some systems for my uncle too. We didn't put his bolt pattern in the same spot. There probably should have been a standard system, but the mountain tabs don't work if you have your hoist in a slightly different spot. It kind of conflicts with where your Tail hinge is mounted, and we didn't make his trucks the exact same. It would have been nice to have done that, but we didn't. But yeah, all of our bolt patterns are the same, so a tank can go on a truck that has a box on it, and a box can go on a truck that has a tank on it. The hydraulic systems are basically set up all the same way. In other words, the hose ports, hydraulic fitting ports that are on the back of the truck line up accordingly to each other. The two white Freightliners, they have slide rail systems on them. However, I don't have the hydraulics to actually run a manure tanker. We just didn't ever feel that we were going to put manure tanks on them trucks, being that they don't have lift axles on them, and we just didn't feel that we needed to have any more straight trucks with slide rail systems on them for manure. We are going to switch over to go right to the right, Mike. We are going to get more manure trailers. So as we move along here, we are going to go the manure trailer route rather than straight trucks. The straight trucks don't haul enough, and it's just better to haul a few thousand gallons more in a tractor trailer. So, fresh cut silage, the smell of fresh cut, yes. Yes, Adam Poirier, Freightliners have problems? Is that what you're asking? I'm not, no, let's see. Yeah, the Freightliners have been pretty good. It's our first experience with automatics. I was always under the notion that the automatic transmission robs a lot of power. However, that is just not the case. There is those trucks have DD13s in them, which I think it's like a 12.7 liter displacement, and they are roughly right around 450 horsepower. Are they powerhouses? Not exactly. Are they dogs? No, they do pretty good. The other thing I was concerned about was the braking abilities, being that you don't necessarily have a gearbox to select different gears and to go down hills. And I couldn't be more wrong there either. The Jake brakes are phenomenal on them trucks. We're running into our third season now, and they have the original brakes on them that the trucks came with when we bought them. They are 2014 models. They are not brand new trucks. They had like 180 or 90,000 miles on them when we got them. And the braking abilities are, you put that Jake brake up on the high setting and just pull your foot off the accelerator pedal. In a normal situation where you'd be towing the brakes, gotta come back some, Mike, where you'd be towing on the brakes in a truck with a gearbox in it, if you pull your foot off the accelerator in both spots, you will have to hit the fuel pedal to speed yourself up to get up to the stop sign or wherever you're going to stop at, because the truck will slow down so much that you'll actually have to speed up to get up to where you want to be. So I've got a straight truck and a tractor trailer just pulling in. So yeah, dual speed rear ends. No, not the 10-wheelers. The single axle trucks. Well, we've only got one. We've got one single axle truck with a little 5-speed transmission in it and a 2-speed rear end. But no, the 10-wheelers don't have 2-speed rears. Generally, when you see a 2-speed rear on a 10-wheeler, they're usually set up for extreme heavy haul, and they're geared really low. You see them once in a while. I did find a C5 in Minnesota with planetary axles in it. It had a C15 Allison 7-speed automatic in it, which that would be a RDS 4700. And that had a 4-speed gearbox in it. So that had a 4-speed trans. It was an automatic, but you had a 4-speed transmission in it too. So it actually has really 28 gears. So I can't imagine how low you could get that guy there to go. They want $100 grand for it, or in near $100 grand. I think that would be a good, nice, heavy-duty road tractor to marry up to a good-sized manure tanker, but I'm not really willing to spend that much money on a road tractor. But it would be nice and heavy-duty. The one thing I would hesitate about, the neighbor's got a couple of automatic road tractors. I need to ride with them sometime to see how they handle the hills. They've talked to the mechanic before, and he said, what will it do if you come at a dead stop? And he said it'll just go. So now this Peterbilt truck that we have, that's got an Ultra Shift 18-speed in it. That's not really geared. The rear ends aren't really geared for the off-road application here. The Allison automatics are a better fit for being off-road. They just go. The trouble with that Ultra Shift, when you're you can get into the manual modes on it, but it's a little goofy. Now the neighbor, he has a Mack with a MP12 or something like that, an automatic 12-speed transmission. I guess those are pretty good. That does pretty well for them. But yeah, that C5 that's in Minnesota that's for sale, that would be an animal. That would walk these Moss trailers around a little bit. We'll get Alex full here in a second, and then my father will slide into place with the old Peter car that Peter car has some trouble here and there. The other road tractors will walk right by it like it's standing still. We're a little bit of a side hill there. Tipping a little bit, ain't you? But yeah, but once that truck gets out on the road, it does a good job. It just gets into some goofy situations with the slipperiness and the hilly conditions. It's a little goofy. Yeah, M drive. That's right, Adam. M drive. Don't need no torque converter on it. Well, automated manuals, yes, but you take them off-road and they are real goofy. It's a completely different experience. Having these ultra shift, auto shift manuals off-road. Now, if you're on the pavement all day long, you will be perfectly fine with them. Let's see. What does my father and brother think of the YouTube? You know, at first, they thought it was kind of silly, and they are now to the point where they tolerate it. Let's just say that. They tolerate it. 65.
Thinking about calling you and help truck it off.
They're chopping, ain't they?
I don't know, he was going to hold him off till Monday. He said, I don't know what it is, so I didn't know if you talked to John at all.
No, I haven't. Oh, my father was wondering if I talked to my uncle and get him to come help us truck some. But I haven't. Yeah, Adam says their trucks stay on the pavement. Oh, boy. No, he hasn't traded the W9 in for another. Hasn't traded the Mac in for another W9. He ended up putting a transmission in that last week. Got the transmission in there, and he noticed it had a noise in the rear end. He's like, I just had that rear end done. Move forward some. So they pulled the rear differential out of it last night, and it made some clunking and whatever in the field. He just locked his power divider in, and she stripped everything off on the rear, and he drove it home on the front rear. So that differential had been rebuilt last year, and it is gone again. So, yeah. But haven't heard the corn stacks yet this year. Yeah, we usually take that camera and stick it on the front of his trailer somewhere during the season here. Maybe I'll wait till the leaves on the trees are a little more pretty, and we'll get you a ride from the field to the farm and back again. We usually do that once a year. So we're kind of wondering how the truck traffic is going to do us. We're loading my father. We've got another tractor trailer pulling in, so it looks as though we might be able to keep up with the amount of trucks we've got here. Not have this chopper waiting. Last week when we were on that furthest farm away from our farm, we couldn't hire anybody to come in and help us, so we had to do it all with our own trucks, and I was waiting on an average of 2.5 hours per day. That's no fun. No fun. Oh. Oh, why doesn't Jared trade that Mac in for another W9? He would like to get another W9. He likes the one he's got now. And as far as the Mac goes, it was a nice cheap truck to use intermittently here and there. The 900 can stay right on that silage trailer while we're doing corn with the flotation tires on it. If we've got ground that's close to home to spread manure on, he can put that on the manure trailer. And Mac, that's got them skid steer treads on it. They're 315 R22.5 skid steer treads that work pretty good for flotation. They've got a fair amount of traction as well, so they do a pretty good job. They're not quite what these Alliance 331s are, but they're better than a standard open shoulder road tire. So we've got a little bit of a wet spot here. He's driving around in. Get my spout up a little further. And yeah, so we've got him just about loaded. I've got to get the front loaded here, and then we'll be able to get on to Sarge here. What's wrong with the C5? Nothing's wrong with the C5. It's back going again. Last Saturday, our drive shaft got twisted up on it. My brother was hauling with that, and he turned the corner off the main road onto Slate Hill. And he no more than got turned on the corner there, and the drive shaft twisted up. But that's what happens when you're dealing with 565 horsepower. And something's got to give once in a whirl. We got him loaded. Let him exit. Yes, yes. Alright. Whoa, missing the trailer. When will the combining start for us? Well, corn's got a long ways to go yet before we're able to do any combining. We don't like to do two jobs at once. We've got all of our trucks tied up, truck and silage. We've got all of our manpower tied up doing silage. Corn's not ready yet, and it's probably going to be somewhere near the end of October, I would have to guess, as far as when we're going to be able to combine any corn. So every year, we wait until we're done chopping corn to combine corn. Only takes a few of us to combine corn, and then the rest of the crew hauls manure. Hello? Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right. What's Fitzy saying? What was that? Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that all sounds good. Yeah, that all. Nah, that's who's. Yeah.
There's another one right on Route 5 here in traffic. What's that about? So somebody literally just tried to pass me over that hill and they fucking swerved and hit another car.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. We'll see it. All right. So that was Jared. He called me on the phone here. He's ordering up more radios, and I guess they've got a couple of car accidents in the area. So you had a car almost hit you, Fitz?
Oh, a car was trying to pass me and they didn't realize there was fucking cars coming up on the blind hill and they fucking hit one of them.
Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Oh boy, you hate
You got to show in the mirror, but that's about it.
Yeah. Yeah. So they've got a couple of car accidents in the area that they're dealing with here. So there's an accident down in the town of Marcellus, right near the gas station, and apparently right near the field here, a car went to go around Fitzy, and was impatient and ran into another one. So that's unfortunate, but you gotta be on your toes here. You can't be stupid. But these people they really are stupid. Did we order a new chopper? Oh, you want a front view of the window? I get you. I got you. We can do that. How about this? Right here. How's that? I can move you again in a little whirl here. That's not really the greatest view, but we can move things around here maybe in a little bit. Yeah, we have not ordered a new chopper yet. I'm leaning towards the 9700, but I want to see how that engine does after it's been out a couple years. If for those of you that maybe aren't familiar with these John Deere choppers, on the larger models, the older 9700, this is an 8700. So we'll back up a little bit here. When this chopper was new, it was the second from the biggest. So there was an 8800 that was bigger than it, and it was basically the same thing. It had the 8800 has the same engine in it. It's a Cummins 19 liter. The choppers that are smaller than this chopper, 8600 and smaller, down to maybe like the 8300 or something. They use the 13.5. Well, at any rate, when they came out with the 9000 series chopper, they put in the three largest ones, the 97, 8, and 9. They had for a little while there, they only had a 9800 that was the biggest. So, yeah, I'm talking on the radio here about traffic issues or something. So, when they first came out with the 9000 series, the 9800 was the biggest one. And then after that, about midway through here, they came out with the 9900, which is the biggest one. They ran that 24-liter LeBaire engine. Well, here last year, John Deere just developed a couple of new engines. I don't know if they came out exactly at the same time, but they've got a 13.6-liter engine that has taken place of some of the applications where they use the 13.5. And they also developed an 18-liter. The 18-liter does not require the use of diesel exhaust fluid. They're doing emission stuff through other means of the process here. So they have put that 18-liter in 95 and 9600 chopper, and then come 2023 here, they started putting it in the 9700 chopper. So we demoed a 9700 back here in the third first cut, and that's rated at about 100 more horsepower than what this chopper's at. This chopper is rated at like 700 even, maybe a touch over, and 9700, if I remember right, was somewhere in the neighborhood of 800 horsepower. The nice thing about this chopper is it's an electronic engine and electronic only. It does not have any emissions on it. It is about like something out of the early 2000s. So we're not dealing with EGRs, we're not dealing with diesel exhaust fluid, we're not dealing with any of that crap. So I'm curious to see how this 18-liter does in the 9700. Having a little more horsepower would be nice. As far as a 9900 goes, a lot of guys have them. That is the most sought after John Deere chopper here in North America. John Deere sells more 9900 choppers than any model in North America. But it's quite a bit more money than the 9700 was. I believe when we bought this chopper, I believe the 8800 was like $80,000 more than this one, and I didn't feel that we needed an 8800. I did want the engine that's in this one. I didn't want to deal with diesel exhaust fluid. The 8600 would have been chopper enough. We did demo an 8600 back when these 8000s just came out, and it had a lot more capacity than what our 7780 had. That was the last chopper that we had before this one. Now we generally only keep a chopper for 4 years. We're in year number 5 with this one. And I'm not even thinking about a new one for next year. Maybe I'll order one the end of next year. I don't know. But this one has been an exceptionally great machine. Now, we did have some issues with it in the very beginning. Back when it was brand new, we were about a week or two into silage, cutting silage that first year, and had the rear axle screw up on the left side. So at the time, they didn't know what happened. They didn't quite have it figured out. And then it was the very last day of cutting silage that year. We had about 4 hours of silage left to cut. And the same thing happened to the right side of the axle. They got that fixed, fixed that over in the field. A couple weeks had gone by, we went over to the field, picked it up, brought it home, cleaned it up, put it back into storage. The following year, chopping corn, the following year, the same thing happened on the farm that we were chopping on last week. I forget what side it was. I want to say it was the right side. Failed. So we're like, what in the heck is going on? So they ordered the parts quickly for it. Trucked up a chopper for us to use. I think that was an 8500. We used that chopper for a couple days. They came, fixed the chopper in the field. 2 mechanics came. I think it was Rich and Jake. Got the planetary all put back together, drive axle, drive yokes, all that crap. They got it all put back together. I was down the road maybe a half a mile. They were going to hand deliver the chopper to me. And they went down the road 100 yards and the differential locked up, made a hell of a clunk noise, and stopped them about dead in their tracks. And they realized they had just broke off all the inner workings of the differential. So they took it back to the field. They figured on trucking the chopper out of there. Fitzy's making. What's that? Go ahead. What's going on? What's new with the developments? Anything? Oh, okay. You laughed a little bit. I didn't know if I missed something.
Oh no, I was just talking about their signaling about that accident.
Yeah.
They were trying to pass me, they didn't even try to fucking slow down when they saw the other car swerved off the other side of the road, then swerved back out of the road, hit the second car in line.
Whereabouts did that happen at?
Oh, right up there, almost by the restaurant.
Gotcha. Alright, so back to our little story. I glanced over.
Are you going to turn right onto the Gorge Road? Alright, I was going to say, if you're going to do that, be real careful. I figured that wasn't the best idea. They got cops right here at this, the intersection when I pull out, blocking the road.
Oh, great. Got, where that accident is, they're blocking traffic. So anyways, back to
You'll have to go down through Camillus and up through by Hudson.
Moss trailers can't go under that bridge. If you do, you better go real slow. Alright, so we've got a lot of interruptions here.
Yeah, did you hear Sarge, Dad? You can go left on Milton there. Do you know what he's talking about?
That's posted, ain't it?
Nah, it'll be alright.
Yeah, we got farm plates. Posted don't mean nothing.
Yeah, didn't really know what you were talking about, to be honest, but he'll be fine.
Yeah. All right, so we got a lot of interruptions here today. Jeez, can't tell no stories or nothing. So at any rate, back to the chopper story. I seen somebody ask, will this chopper handle a 12-row head? Well, that's one of the upgrades.
What do you do here? Turn on 695 and then get off at Millwood? No, you know that Red Apple Auto or whatever the hell that is right there? You go left right there, and then you'll be able to take a right.
All right. So, somebody asked, would this chopper of ours handle a 12-row head? Most certainly, it would handle the capacity of a 12-row head. It would handle the weight of a 12-row head. Guys ran 12 rows on 8800s. However, Deere didn't realize that the heads were heavy, and they realized that guys were going to lean into using 12-row heads more and more. So they upgraded and made the feeder house, if you will, in combine terms, or the front of the cutter head frame. They made that a little heavier on the 9000 series choppers to handle the weight of a 12-row head. The 10-row head is considerably more weight than an 8-row, and then a 12-row is going to add just a little more weight over the top of a 10. But yes, this would handle the capacity of a 12-row, and it would handle the weight, but you might see fatiguing issues several years down the road. So back to the problems that this chopper had with breaking the, we have talked about this several times in the past, and it might be something that a lot of you have heard, but I've got a lot of new listeners on the live streams here, and viewers, what have you. But what they realized was going on with this axle, well, we'll back up for a second here. When it happened that third time, what they did is they put a brand new axle in this chopper from another chopper that Kaz had. They took the brand new axle out of the new chopper, and they put it into this one, and to order a new axle for that other chopper. And we were able to finish out that second season with this chopper. But at any rate, what they discovered was going on is they discovered that from the factory, the steering stops weren't adjusted correctly. And what was happening is the wheels were turning too much, and when they turned too much, it put too much stress on the U-joints. The U-joints would fail, and it would allow the shaft to still turn because the knuckles would come together. But what it would do is it would try to pop past the knuckles, and when it popped past the knuckles, come back some, it would put too much pressure on the input side of the actual planetary, and it would push on the bearings in the planetary, cause the gears to mesh hard against each other, create a lot of friction material inside the planetary. Then the planetary, what that would do was it would kind of seize up, half-ass seize up. And when it did that, it exploded the actual planetary to the point where the axle would lose all of its oil, and then the wheel would start actually dragging. The wheel wouldn't be allowed to turn anymore, and it would just drag the wheel. So that was a little bit of a problem. So, engine 4 on the scene. Runs a 12-row Krone on a 9800. Hit the like button, yeah. raining in Boise, eh? If it isn't broke, don't fix it. Let's see here. 2 ambulances on the scene. So we got Austin Baldwin. He's a local here. Turn on my fire radio and turn up the volume on the two-way. Maybe we'll get a little bit of action here as far as what our drivers.
Just remember that first hill after you get under that bridge. That's real hard pull. That's steep hill.
The drive shaft was expensive there. Come on. Now Fitzy can go under that bridge. We got a low-lying railroad bridge, and Moss trailers have a little trouble getting under it. They scrub once in a while if we load her real tall.
Go ram through them, and then go Canton. Not much different.
Hey, bud, how's it going? This is better than the cartoons. Well, it is Looney Tunes at times here, but we try to do our best. Everybody likes a freak show. So,
yeah, you can do that too, Fitzy, but I just put it in third. It'd make it in that gear. No way it would not make it, but it's up to you if you don't feel safe. You can get it in a low enough gear at the bottom so you don't have to shift in the middle.
make her yell, boys, make her yell. How's the CB working for you? Well, we're actually using two-way radios. We've just come on board with Midland.
They got one up on the tow truck. Firemen are sweeping the road off.
So we've got Midlands and half the stuff, and Jared has discovered a better radio than a Midland. Hey Jared, what was that other brand of radio you got? Wuxen?
That little guy was back in.
Hey Jared, what's the brand of that other radio you got?
The way it's spelled, you want to call it Wuxen. It's like Wuxun. It's a Chinese company now, though, and it's actually pronounced ocean.
Okay, so he has discovered this other radio that's a little better than the Midlands. I've got a Midland MXT 575 in the chopper. That's a 50-watt radio. Jared's got an MXT 500, which is a 50-watt. We've got some 400 Midland radios. They're kind of cheap. They're not put together all that well. He found this other brand of radio, Wuxen, he said is pronounced ocean or something like that, with the Chinese translation. Now you might say, well, that's made in China. Well, I'm pretty sure the Midland radio is made in China, too. If you look down at the cell phone that you're watching this freak show on, that was made in China, too. So, yeah. Where's Nate? What's he doing on this fine day? Nate's our primary pusher guy, so he's running the show back at the bunk.
Can you tell a difference at all where I chisel plowed? I chisel plowed this whole front field. I can't tell from just the truck.
You can see a little bit of a difference, like where all the truck traffic was, or tractor traffic was going across it, but it's not as pronounced as some of these other fields that we've seen as far as the compaction and whatnot goes.
Well, like I chisel plowed, like this whole front field about to where the hedgerow used to be. I chisel plowed it, and then I chisel plowed all of the tanker marks and a lot of the headlands.
Chisel plow, or do you have the disc ripper?
No, I chisel plowed it with the 9320.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, this one field that we're doing here is the first of 4, and we have to drive, obviously, across this field to get to.
The rest of it, you just postured it, so no tillage on any of the other parts of it.
We had to obviously drive across this field to get to the other 3, and that's a lot of traffic with manure tankers. He chisel plowed this whole front field, and a lot of what we did for soil preparations before we planted was we just used the Pottinger Terra discs. The girls chisel plowed a fair amount, and then once, we're gonna go this way, Jared. It's too much of a side hill. Changing direction here. Once we got to where we wanted to start planting, the girls jumped off of the chisel plows. We hooked on Terra discs, and they stayed hooked to them. They didn't get everything chiseled. Come back some. And they just Terra disced everything in front of the corn planter, and so far we're seeing exceptional yields, and not a difference there anyways from what we did full tillage on compared to just using the Terra discs. All right, Martin, have a good day driving them old shitty buses. Let's see, Austin's listening to this accident on his scanner radio app.
We're moving now.
Let's see, old flip phones rule. Yeah, you know what? I had a Motorola StarTAC back in the day. That thing was awesome. I don't know if I would ever be able to go back to an analog or a non-smartphone, but those little guys right there were nice, real nice. You know, you can put the damn thing in your pocket. You're loaded, Jared. You wouldn't have to worry about anybody pocket dialing you. Or you wouldn't have to worry about pocket dialing anybody. And they were rugged too. Actual push buttons instead of yeah, where'd my train of thought go? So we're gonna try to move you guys now that I have a gap in trucks here. We can try to move you guys. I clicked you guys off. So we've got to do this. We got to figure out where you guys went. Okay, there you are. You're back again. I don't know if I can physically run this like that. Maybe you guys can watch some corn go into the head here. Yeah. Is that too much? That might be too much. Yeah. I don't know how well that's going to be, but we've got limited spots to hang you guys. Let's try that. You guys want to watch some corn come in? Yeah, them guys have been dealing with the rain. That's a different part of the state there. It's generally wet a lot there. Southern New England, you got more rain. Them hurricanes have been fighting you guys, haven't they? They have been fighting you guys. Oh, let me see if I've got some kind of a different mount here that I can put you guys on. That spot there is not the greatest. But you know what? I've got this guy here. I might be able to put you guys in a different spot here. As long as I've got a cab in trucks, I might as well take advantage of it here. Okay. Got this guy coming back in here. Alright, we can take you guys out of this here. Mount. Alright, I'm going to drop you guys right there. Alright, which way is right facing? That way? Okay, so let's see how we do here. We've got to put you guys up here for now. Alright, so we have a straight truck that is in behind us. Maybe you guys want to go this way. Let's go that way, shall we? Got a straight truck that is entered in behind us. Let him sit right there. You guys are out the front window. Now, being that I don't have the camera in behind us, I haven't got to worry about how good of a job I do keeping the corn in the truck. We'll do all right. We'll do all right. All righty. So it sounds like they've got that accident just about cleaned up. Get this truck squared up here. There we go. We're cutting and running. We're cutting and running. All right. Okay, so it sounds like we've got the accident cleaned up for the morning. Pike view. Pike view might be okay. We had a pike view earlier. I can still turn you guys around. Don't have no tree branches. No washout marks. Make sure we don't hit any big stones on the edge of the field. That's why you want to make sure you are. See, I don't have a high enough mount. Maybe this will work. Yeah, I guess that's not too bad. Might be better than where you guys were when we first started the live stream, looking out the back window. I keep confusing myself here if I end up looking over onto the wrong screen. Yeah. So how many people we got in here? We got 588 people in the old live stream. So we were talking earlier about YouTube not showing us any love. We need to kick them in the gonads a little bit here by showing them that we actually have a following. So what you guys need to start doing is you need to just hit that thumbs up. I know it's a pain in the butt, and I don't like asking for you guys to do that, but it triggers the algorithm crap with YouTube, because they basically they don't only monitor channels by the involvement that they see from clicks and comments and other responses like that. They basically just have computers running the show here. You know, if you are starting to talk about various things, there's keywords that turn their ears on, and you know, right now, because we're not hitting on the anything controversial here, they're not listening to us. But if we were starting to talk about some of the stuff that's going on in these schools now that Adam Poirier has talked about, we've had some conversations about what is going on at his school, oh boy, they'd be listening to us, but we're not going to go there. Thumbs up, everybody. So yeah, it's a pain in the butt for those of you that are watching the comments come in and seeing if I respond to them or not. In order to get to the thumbs up part of the live stream here, you got to click out, hit the thumbs up or the thumbs down. It doesn't matter which one you hit, because we're more or less neutral here. You know, we don't want to offend anybody, and anybody that gets a thumbs down in their videos anymore, it's like receiving that achievement award for nothing. A thumbs down is worth the same as a thumbs up. So, we have got this one truck about loaded, and I've come down off of this side hill, and we'll take him up this other side here. Take him up this other side and let him get on out of here. Come on, pipe's got to come around to my right side. Drop down a little bit. Turn you guys a little bit. There. Got nephew Colton running this truck here. This is our smallest truck. This is the truck that we ended up building that new box for. We done run clear right out of time here this spring. Didn't get it installed. Ran into some time restraints here this past summer, and didn't get any time to install it done either. I was going to try and install it between third cutting and corn. We had some other issues come up, and we never got around to plucking this box off and swapping over that new box. I didn't want to start the project, get part of the way through, and then not getting it done all together, and then having it sit until spring, or sit until, you know, we wouldn't be using it until next year. So it is what it is. Yes, I'm sorry to have brought that up, Adam. I hope you have everything sorted on your end, but I'm sure whatever decision you made there was a educated one, and yeah, it's unfortunate. Nate should be camera guy, yeah. But are you here local, or are you down in Florida now? I can't remember what my uncle said last when he last had a conversation with you. Let's see, we'll go over to the far side of this field, go up around that side hill, as long as we got an empty truck. We're filling one of the part-time guys here. This is a gentleman that used to work for my uncle. Kind of a neighbor. And yeah, this is Chris. Running this Truck 11. The freight shaker, the first of the freight shakers that we have owned here at Oregon Family Dairy. This truck here used to be an old Byrne milk truck. So for some time, Byrne was, they were predominantly running Ford trucks. And then for those of you that are old enough to remember Ford making heavy duty trucks. I'm not talking about super duties, I'm talking 10-wheelers, road tractors, and what have you. Byrne Dairy ran Ford road tractors and Ford 10-wheelers. And then when Ford got bought out by Sterling, or taken over by Sterling, they went to Sterling for a little while, and then they were starting to dibble-dabble into some Freightliners. And basically they're a throwaway truck, or that's how they viewed them, as being a throwaway truck. And when they were done with them, they would offer them to us poor farmers for a cheap price. I want to say some of them Ford trucks. We have one, the old John Deere truck is that's an old burn truck. The two Sterlings that we have, they were burn trucks. And this truck here, this was the last burn milk truck that we bought. We paid $9,500 for this one, and the other ones were anywhere from $4,000 to $6,000. The John Deere truck is functional, still functional, and they were decent trucks when we bought them back in the day. This is a 90. Is this a 99 or an 01? This is an 01 Freightliner FL 112. We painted them, obviously, because they're a different color than the custard yellow. But yeah, they've been good trucks. Later on, they ended up switching over to Kenworth, and now I don't know what they do for sourcing their trucks. I think they're using a leasing service. I could be wrong, but that was the history on these burn trucks. You found this channel through Duffy Ag. Well, I'm glad that you are here participating. Yeah, one individual says he recognizes this field. Well, yeah, I don't know if you're from the area or remember seeing it in previous videos, but we did a video in this field back a while ago when we used the frac tank. 2 years ago, there was a guy that was doing some filming for Big Tractor Power. And he did a bunch of videoing from this field on a Sunday. We spent a couple hours getting things coordinated for him. I let him use my drone to get some footage. Passed all that footage on to Big Tractor Power. And that gentleman that runs that channel, there's no sense in mentioning his first name because I don't think he likes his name mentioned all the time, and I'm not going to just drop a name. But at any rate, he never did anything with it. He was going to feature it on his channel, but he never did. So we wasted that time screwing around with that gentleman on a Sunday, getting trucks lined up because we had a gap in trucks, and we wanted to make sure that the drone was able to capture what it was going to capture, being that the battery only, you're dealing with limited battery on a drone and whatever else like that. And just he wasted our time. So it is what it is. But at any rate, yeah, I thought sure this farm would have been featured on Big Tractor Power. So Christ is King. I appreciate that. You've been watching since we started YouTube, says, that's good to hear. Boy, back in the day, 4 or 5 years ago, it must have been when this chopper was new. It seems like I was able to do I did a live stream about every day, I believe, and anymore it just seems like it's such a pain in the butt to get things dialed in here with the live stream. I don't know. I guess I'm getting lazier, but yeah, it used to be. We used to get into doing these live streams quite a bit. So corn looks a lot better than in Nebraska. Well, we've been fortunate this year to receive the weather exactly when we, the right weather exactly when we needed it. I guess you could say that. It wasn't looking good. The corn looked like crap here. You know, a month after we planted it, you know, the stand was horrible looking. You know, it just was all uneven, and then we got the rain, and it, of course, all caught up. Our corn was way behind, and it caught up a lot in that short amount of time. We're gonna actually run quite a while here today, Adam. So this is gonna be like one of them old-fashioned live streams that we did just only a short handful of years ago. Got myself set up here. I've got long rounds that we can screw around with. Actually, we get after we get some of these short rounds off. And we can maybe dibble-dabble into the comments, because that's what I need to feed off of. Jimmy B's dealing with mud in Connecticut. I'm hoping that it stays this way. Again, I don't know if we're going to pay for it at some point, but I think with the amount of problems that we've dealt with in past years, I'm hoping we already paid it forward. So I'm hoping that this is a bonus, because we had already received quite a few bad years in a row here. Oh, my alarm's going off, and it's noontime. So, yeah. What's the furthest haul for silage? Well, we did the furthest haul last week, which was right around 18 miles. And I talked about that a little bit earlier here today. Last year we had a couple of hired trucks that came in from that came in from Newton Ag Service. He had a couple of tractor trailers that he supplied us with last year. However, he had those trucks all tied up and reserved for other jobs when we started, and he wasn't available when we were doing our longest haul. This haul here is about 10, 11 miles. For the most part, everybody's been keeping up. I think they had a little hiccup in the traffic accidents that they had to deal with. Now we have 2 trucks stacked up in behind us, and we need to get rolling here. But yeah, that was an 18-mile haul, and I averaged, my waiting times averaged 2.6 hours a day that I had waited for trucks throughout the duration of the day. Daniel Kiefer is in Lowville. What's the beep all the time? That is the recording starting and stopping. And then every once in a while you hear squelch from the radio. when it's quiet, in other words, when it's before we have any trucks going, I don't get the interference from the squelch here on the radio. I do have to move my antenna eventually here, which is right on this right-hand handrail, which is, well, right on the right-hand side of the cab. I need to move that to the left, maybe. I don't know if maybe the antenna is too close to the radio, and if it's getting interference from that, or if it's getting interference from the Green Star display, the iPads, and whatever else like that. So I do need to change the location of this antenna in order to cut down on the squelch interference, because it's annoying. It's annoying as hell. I don't mind listening to it when I don't have anything else going on, but Gary, it's not the same one I was referring to. He actually did a couple of videos over to my uncle's place. If you recall, my uncle suffered from a chopper fire last year. Not suffered from it, but he had dealt with a chopper fire last year and ended up replacing his 8700 with a 9900. And that same guy, I think it was the same guy that did the videoing at our place, did the videoing of my uncle's chopper. And that big tractor power also did like I don't know if it's been 40 or 50 years that John Deere has been doing the self-propelled choppers. He did a special on that, and he featured my uncle's chopper again in that 40th or 50th year anniversary of the John Deere chopper. We're slipping some. We overloaded that one. You're loaded. Alright. So, I got that one to the end here. Now what we're going to do is we are going to go back in behind us and go up around that edge by the woods. Just because I have straight trucks that are available here. So we've got Mayor Huff with a $20 super chat. I appreciate that. What's that? Say that again, Bill.
Some crazy guy followed me all the way from Bennett's Corners to the farm, bitching about stuff blowing out of the truck.
Yeah, and he probably ran the other way when you got out, too, right? Well, I think what you need to do is put your seat belt right on the floor. Let him get out and start barking at you, and then get out of the truck and ask him if he would like to repeat that again. So Bill is one of our part-time guys, Big Bill. He's about 7'6", and you wouldn't want to monkey around with him. He said that there was a car that followed him all the way back to the farm, and I said, well, you need to put your seat down on the floor and have him get up alongside you and start barking, and then just get out. What did you say? Oh, these guys, people like to complain about leaves blowing out of the trucks. I get it. It can be a nuisance, but all you've got to do is back your speed down. Don't follow so close. It's we don't want the stuff blowing out of the trucks, but every once in a while, if you get into the brown corn, and if some light leaves get chopped onto the truck glass, that's what blows out. But these guys that are doing the bitching about stuff blowing off the trucks, they're the same ones that probably mow their grass out into the road. Now, there's nothing wrong with that, you know. We had a guy complaining one time about corn silage leaves in his yard and whatever else like that. Wanted us to come rake the yard, rake all the corn silage leaves out of his yard. I said, what are you going to do about that maple tree there that's dropping its leaves? I said, he was concerned that it was going to kill the grass. I said, what are you going to do about your maple tree leaves that are, covering all your grass up? He didn't know how to answer that question. Just some people, they want to bitch about something. A lot of times, if you just let them rant and rave and yell and scream and agree with them and don't argue back, let them get it all out of their system, and then the conversation usually changes quickly after that. A lot of times it's these yuppie guys that will start bitching, and it's because they're bossed around all day long. All day long, they have to deal with their boss at work, and then they deal with their boss at home, their wife. And they're not man enough to pull up their pants and say anything. But as soon as they have the opportunity to bitch about something, the old Karen pants go on and they start bitching. And if you just let them bitch, they usually calm down in a hurry. They need to vent sometimes in order to get their hormones, their PMS hormones, to balance themselves out. So a lot of times when I get phone calls and whatever, I just view it as I'm providing a public service to the mentally challenged people that just can't handle life in general and need a way to vent their frustrations. Oh boy. One time I got a phone call, a guy complaining about something. He's bitching and carrying on, and he's not getting a rise out of me at all. And he stops talking. I said, "Are you done?" "Yeah, I am." His tone changed quickly. And I said, "Well, okay. You want to thank me now or thank me later?" "Well, what do you mean?" I said, "You were just able to get all of your frustrations out, and I didn't know if you wanted to thank me because obviously you feel better. I could tell with your voice, the way your voice changed." He hung up the phone. How's making a pile on the new pad? Well, we've got it about 3/4 done. We're going into 2 other bunks right now. We got 1 bunk full. We're going into a bunk alongside it. And what we're going to do is we're going to fill those 2 bunks together. In other words, we're going to go right up over the wall of both of them. That's where the BMR silage is going. The corn pad, the new pad that we poured, that's basically a drive-over pile. We're putting conventional corn there. That's about 3/4 full, and then we started going into another bunk. It's not going to work in conjunction with it, but we're able to go into 2 spots just to split the trucks up so it's not so hard to push up silage. Doesn't take so long. They got 2 articulators with blades on them, and they're packing with a couple of different just regular straight frame tractors, 8000 series tractors. So if we had a, yeah, so and on this side here, I need to clean up a little bit in that corner, but we'll go right up through half. So yeah, it's been working. Yeah, when the people give you the finger, if you just wave and smile like they're waving at you, it just works a lot better usually. It means more. If you give them the finger back, they will have realized that they got their point across. And if you just wave, then they think, oh my God, did I not get my point across? Don't you see I have my middle finger sticking up? Oh boy. But sometimes that's not as easy to do if you're not having the bestesses of days yourself. Oh, let's see. I've missed some comments, so I'm kind of not able to follow along with the dialogue here. I'm missing something. Sunday sermon with Oregon. I don't know if I would go that far. Do you see 5 pictures of John Deere? No, I haven't. I don't know of anything going on with a new design of the chopper. Somebody's asking about high moisture corn. There's not going to be any high moisture corn put into a bunk this year. We plan on filling that bunk with high moisture corn. We plan on filling that bunk with corn silage. Next year, if we are able to put walls up around that corn pad, that will increase the capacity of it, and we will possibly be able to go back to having the ability to put corn in the bunk. But I don't foresee us doing that again for a long time. We just, anymore with the amount of cows that we're currently milking and planning on milking, we just don't have the acres to be able to fill a bunk that size with high moisture corn. We can definitely put a small pile of high moisture corn in it, but then if we don't fill the bunk completely up, then we're just wasting all of that space. So, yeah, I mean, the only other way we could do that is if we put haylage in it and then fed that back a ways, and then put high moisture corn in front of the haylage so that we weren't wasting that whole bunk. But we more than likely will we will end up putting high moisture corn in that split silo. I've actually got a hold of our silo guys. I want new cables put on that silo loader. I seen some burrs in the cable the other day when I was taking doors out. Well, it was last month. It was 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago now. When I was taking doors out, I run my hand down the cable, pull my indicator down it, and I had come across some burrs in the cable that kind of scared me a little bit. That silo loader is 11 or 12 years old, and the cable should have lasted longer than that, but I don't want to have the silo loader get 3/4 of the way to the top and then decide to check out. When I was talking to them guys about putting cables on it, they said usually the bad spot in the cable, which you never notice it, is about 10 foot up from where it hooks on the tripod. And they usually break when it gets almost to the top where that part of the cable goes over the pulley. And it goes boom. So we don't want to see that happen. Them unloaders got to be $20,000 now. They might even be $30,000. I forget what we even paid for that one when we had it put in 2012. Oh, let's see here. I've got a battery going down on my one phone here. What I can do about that? I guess I gotta plug it in for a little whirl. A little bit of a whirl. Oh, I got somebody dialed into our Green Star display here. They want to see what the moisture is currently running at. We got Mike loaded, and yeah, we've got Alex up on deck here. So we've got Alex loaded. How many acres do you farm? We're farming about that many. We're right around 5,000. It's dry here, so it's been nice. Yeah.
I got this extinguisher from that guy. Is this like going with you or just back to the farm?
What is it? A fire extinguisher?
It's one of those water ones.
Oh, really? Water cannon, huh? Wow. They got any water in it?
Is it supposed to be like full of water? Is that how these work?
Yeah, show that again. Wow. Wow. Nah, keep it with you. Who was it? Did he give a name?
Black pickup right there, that Chevy.
Oh. Well, I need to give him a thumbs up. Yeah, I don't know if he could see me, but we gave the thumbs up. There you go. I don't know who that was in that black Chevy, but I want to thank you for dropping off that water cannon. It's a water style fire extinguisher. And for those of you that aren't familiar with those, they you fill them up so far with water, then you charge them with air pressure, and you're able to use it as a water style fire extinguisher. It works good for like little hay fires and stuff like that. It's got enough pressure to it to be able to really get in there and penetrate the area that you might have on fire. Of course, you want to be careful and not use it on electrical fires. That could be kind of dangerous. But yeah. So we're going to unplug this one. We're going to plug this one in. There we go. I had to steal the charge cord from the one phone and put it in the other one here. So, yeah. A lot of ground. Andy gave out an acres number. Wow. Yeah. Going beef. Nah, the only way we would go to beef cows is if we end up selling the dairy cows. I mean, that's what you do. It's your next ditched effort to remain a farmer is to obtain some beef cows, right? But no, we don't have any plans to go to raising any beef cows. So, yeah. Right here, right? Yeah, so, how many cows are you milking, and how come you never show anything in the milking parlor? We're milking 1,900 or so. And as far as the stuff goes with showing stuff on YouTube, what you have to understand is it is a tough area with having to deal with the potential of risky animal rights activist type crap. And what you have to think about is this stuff can change all the time, as far as you don't know if it's an animal rights group that is coming after you, or if some company that you're affiliated with, a company trying to compete with them and trying to get rid of a contract or something. They might come up with false allegations of animal cruelty or something like that. It just gets to be really tricky. So we're kind of treading on thin ice, if you will. I know some farms that, they milk 200-300 cows. They show all the stuff on the old YouTube. But what you have to remember is they don't have as much to lose. If a milk company is having trouble getting rid of milk, and they want to get rid of a couple of suppliers, who do you start with? You start with your largest one, because that's going to be the easiest. It's going to be easy to make one phone call. It's going to be easier to make one phone call to tell somebody that you're not going to pick their milk up anymore than it is to make 10 phone calls to guys that milk 200 cows. So it's kind of hard for you guys to understand, because you see it all day long. You see this guy showing the milking and that guy. But what you have to remember is if they lose their milk market today or tomorrow, they can be picked up a lot easier than any other company that, if we were to lose our milk market tomorrow, it would be a hard job for another company to say, "Hey, we can handle your productivity. Come on." Beautiful day for chopping. Yes, it is. It is a beautiful day indeed. I don't know how much longer I'm going to run this live stream for, but we've been 2.5 hours into our Sunday live stream here. So we've got 620. Seems like that's about the average number of what we've been able to maintain as a viewer number here. I know just as soon as one goes, another one signs on. Who is our milk market? We ship to Burn Dairy. We have shipped to Burn Dairy since before I was born. And we want to keep it that way. We have a good relationship with them. And we don't need to rock the boat at all. So, yeah. Trying robot. How many acres is this field? It's like 25 or something. But we've got a lot of time invested into this field because of the way or how I opened it up. We have made quite a few short rounds of it. So, but oh well. We're dealing with it. We're dealing with it. So, what's the dry matter? 350 Mac wants to know what the dry matter is. So you can always tell the true dairy guy, you know, the guy that it's all about dairy nutrition. He always asks, what's the dry matter? So the dry matter is running right at like 35%. So that's backwards math. When you guys hear me talk of the moisture content, I'm coming up with 65, 64. The dry matter is the opposite number. So if I'm hitting 65% moisture, then that means there's 35% dry matter. So if you were to squeeze all the water out of this corn, you would come up with, on 100 pounds, you would come up with 65 pounds of water. I don't know what Alex is doing. No, she's trying to organize her fire extinguishers. You okay, Alex?
Yeah, I had to arrange my cab a little. This thing is pretty huge and it knocked all my stuff around.
It knocked your makeup box over.
No, I have a collection of golf balls in case I have to assault someone on the drive-by.
Oh, gotcha. We need to get you one of them golf ball cannons. Oh, I'm just kidding about the makeup kit. You see some of these female YouTubers there, boy, they've got to do a whole thing where they're having to do their hair and their makeup as they're going along. And if I had hair, I guess I would be doing my hair on the go here as well. Brian Richardson, how many acres of corn silo do you plan on chopping? We'll probably chop 16 to 1,800 acres, maybe 2,000. I don't know. The yield has been decent. This is hovering around 20 ton. That's actual tons. That's not a fictitious number. So this is averaging right around 20 to 22 tons. I'll know a little more when I get done with this field. But, yeah. So, we need a certain amount of tons to get through the year. We're feeding conventional corn silage left over from last year. We've got like 10 or 15 feet left in one bunk, and then which we're feeding out of the high moisture corn bunk now, and then we've got a bunk, another narrow bunk above it that's full, and then we've got a bunk of BMR silage that we filled last year.
I forgot to look, but can we go forward road that way again? You're good to go that left out of here.
Well, the accident is cleaned up. Let's see here. Radios are working nicely. Yes, they are. Let's see. 350 Mac knows a little bit about dairy and knows a little bit about chopping. Are you, where are you from? You're from Vermont, are you? Or I'm confusing you with somebody else. Thought I seen that's where you were from. How do I feel about the location of the Empire Farm Days? I don't know. I haven't been there. They've had it at that location now for 2 years. And the rumor has it they have a contract for a total of 5 years. And I think they're going to have to grease some palms really well. And there's talk about it being pulled out of the area, or pulled out of where it's at. Now, this is speculation. I know nothing. But there's talk about it being pulled out of that area because they have lost so much interest from vendors and equipment manufacturers, dealers, and the crowd. I guess the crowd is a lot smaller than what it used to be. There's other better venues, not in this area obviously, but there's larger machinery shows that take place throughout the summer in different areas of the country, and some guys just make it a point to maybe take a vacation during them larger shows that are in different parts of the country, and they see what they want to see at them. They get a little vacation time in as well. As far as this local one, I think they made a mistake by moving it from where they moved it from, but they had their reasonings. So we've got Fitzy that we're filling now, C5 with the Aulic. This will be the third time we've filled him today. And then we have Sarge on deck here. Let's see, Chris Farms, you're from Connecticut, correct? So you made a special trip to come into the area, and your time was wasted. How many stories are there like that? With different guys, and it's just, once 350 Mac is from Vermont. Yeah, once you get bitten, you'll never come back until they change it. Doesn't matter, until they take it to a different area, and doesn't matter how much they improve that area. What's Andrew working on today? Well, it's funny you asked that. Not funny, but I guess it's interesting that you asked that. He is spreading pen-pack manure. Last week he ran the dump wagon. I had everybody arranged. I had all the drivers arranged that we were going to need to get through the day. And it was drizzling rain at like 7 o'clock that morning. So the guys hooked on 2 dump wagons. Andrew and Davey used the dump wagons. And to be honest with you, they were probably not really necessary to have had to really use them. So that's what he did last Sunday, and so he's doing pen pack. Do I ever want to take a vacation? Every once in a while I think about it, but I cannot. My mind can't physically shut down unless we have nothing going on. So obviously I can't go if we've got any crop work going on. I don't want to go when the guys are having to move manure. And I just like it. I kind of like it if it's raining a little bit and or snowing. Therefore, I know that I'm not wasting productive time. A little silly to look at it that way, but I'm sure a lot of you that are in the type of business that we're in feel the same way. And Martin. If you, they have A.N. Martin as a grain systems, and Chris Farms has a feed mill. A.N. Martin Systems is a grain. They do grain bins and whatever. That place is freaking huge now. They have grown a lot in the last 5-6 years. I don't know if you had an opportunity to have seen that place, 10 years ago. I mean, that place is more or less, it's probably 10 times the size it was 10 years ago. No, I did not make the Farm Progress show. If I had planned on going, the timing probably would have worked out right for it, because we were right in between cuttings and hadn't started corn yet, but it would have had to have been well planned in advance. And if I would plan anything like that, it would sure screw up as far as timing goes, and it's just not worth dealing with the stress that goes along with trying to plan on something like that, and then 3 weeks beforehand be like pulling your hair out, making sure everything was staying in line with being able to have it work out for having all your work done when it was supposed to be done. We got a little bit more to put up on Fitzy's front end. Just got to fill the front. Oh, let's see. Yeah, that Austin's referring to the video I did there. That was 2 weeks ago today. For those of you that didn't follow along, a couple videos ago, 2 weeks ago today, me and Jared and Andrew loaded up 3 electric bikes that I have, and we ran out to Letchworth State Park. That was a good time. Them bikes, when I got an email about a year ago from Himaway, and they're like, why we get emails all the time. Anybody that's got a YouTube channel of any size, you get these offers all the time to promote this, promote that, use this software to edit your videos and mention our name and get so much money from us, or use this cookware, stuff that's not even related to the type of content that you put out. And this company emailed me, wanted to send me an electric bike. I'm like, electric bike? Are you kidding me? So I accepted it. I said, yeah, let's see what this is all about. These guys want to waste their time and send me a product, and I'll waste their time. I was really surprised with the quality and whatever of that first electric bike I got. Of course, after I do the first video, these other companies, whether it comes along their search feed or whatever, they see that you're, doing that kind of thing, and what it does is it helps them explore a different market that's outside of the biking world market, and it just introduces a different crowd to their product. So I understand it that way as well. And we've had the opportunity to, I've received 6 electric bikes so far. My brother, and all of us guys, ridden around on them and have experienced them, and everybody has shown some interest in them. So my brother, he calls me up one day. We were talking about something. He says, "Hey, he was thinking about getting his daughter an electric bike. She was, interested in it. He's, what's the best kind?" I said, "Don't buy one. Just come and try out this one that I've got." Well, his son ended up confiscating it, more or less. Took it and rides it all the time. So I've got to brush off my rotary screen. Getting hot. So I'm going to go ahead and brush that off. I've got to brush off this rotary screen. We've got some material that has built up onto it. So we're going to turn you guys around here. You guys can see right down in there. I'll be right back with you in a moment here. Okay, we are back on board here. Temperature's gone way down. So, I got a warning saying my intake temperature had come up. So, one lonely farmer is in the house. So I had to jump out and clean off my rotary screen. Intake pressure, air temperature pressure was coming up. So, yeah, we're back at it here. So, did you figure out chopper vibration issue? Well, not really, but I think what that noise was coming from was the bearing on the left side of the cutter head. It has not made that noise since. There was a small crack in the grease line going to it. It didn't leave enough grease to have caused any bit of a concern. However, I replaced the grease line. I popped the grease line out, fed some grease into it, and yeah. When I went chopping, when did that happen? That happened during third cutting, or before I forget which. But at any rate, that noise never came back. Jared said he heard a noise when we were chopping around that one cornfield. Never heard that again. We had talked back and forth with deer, and apparently they have had an upgrade or an update to the cutter head bearings. And John Deere has actually asked some of the dealers to pull the grease line out of that bearing and put a grease zerk in it and grease it every 20 hours or something like that, just a few pumps. They felt that the auto greaser on the new style bearing cages or bearings, they felt that the auto greaser was applying too much grease to that cutter head bearing. So that was a pip that they had, or a detach case or what have you, that they had on the cutter head bearing. He didn't quite understand if it was for this bearing that we're using on this chopper. But they did put new cutter head bearings in when they changed out this cutter head. Oh, one lonely farmer. So how is Wes doing today? So if any of you that haven't followed along on Wesley's channel, he has gotten a new combine. He's got a, that's a big bastard, New Holland something or other, 80-90 or 90-90, 80-80, something like that. And he has also got a folding 12-row corn head for it. Hey Adam, take it easy. Thanks for stopping in. I gotta say, Wes, I'm slightly jealous of you, of that combine that you got. This 6-row, or this 9560 combine that we've got is getting smaller now. Oh boy. Oh well. Yeah, Wesley's going to church now. Teresa's really twisting his arm, I guess. No, Wes doesn't chop corn anymore, Adam. I don't know if he ever gets a chance to help the neighbor or not, but yeah. Yeah, so let's see. Well, temperature's staying down anyways. That's a good sign. I've got a brush on a 4-foot long handle. That works real nice for cleaning that rotary screen off. Chopper hasn't been home in a few days, and I need to actually wash the radiator out. It was drizzling rain here a little bit the other day, and it sucks this dust in from the tassels and a little bit of dust that's on the leaves, and it really just plugs up the radiator pretty quick. The idea of the rotary screen is to keep the actual debris from plugging the radiator, but that fine stuff gets in behind it and plugs her up a little bit. Plugs up the rotary screen. Come back a little bit, Sarge. So yeah, fun stuff. Can we get a thought of the day from Nate soon? Oh yeah. He seems to purposely not have a thought of the day anymore, but yeah. Go back a little. Oh, Ronnie says we are the two best ones that keep it real. What am I using for a spout camera? Well, the original camera that was on this spout was a John Deere camera. Now, what the heck kind is it? Cab cam, I think, is what's on there now. Both the rear camera on the rear door we had to replace, and I had to replace the camera that's up on the spout. Got both of those cameras from the John Deere dealership. They are AI cameras, and I want to say they're a cab cam style camera. They plug right into the John Deere wire harness, and those cameras are probably half of the cost of the actual John Deere camera, and they do the job just as well as the John Deere one did. So we are just about done. Why the trailer swap on the C5 and the Western Star? Well, geez, that's going to spoil today's video. We actually had an issue last week. Drive shaft got twisted up on the C5 on its way home with a load. So if you recall, we had the Aulick trailer on the Western Star. That kind of took a spot of the C5, because the C5 had to get a turbo put into it, and my brother we got that fixed, got the turbo put on there. Austin put that on for us, and my brother was hauling silage with the C5 last Saturday, and the drive shaft got twisted up on him. So Fitzy was using the Aulick on the Western Star that day. They had to unhook the Aulick trailer from the Western Star to retrieve the loaded trailer that was hooked to the C5. Andrew pulled the C5 home with he brought the 8360 down, and they pulled the C5 home with the 8360. They had to remove the drive shaft from it. It had full rounds on the rear shaft, so what they did, instead of taking the front shaft section out that was bent, which would have required taking the whole thing out anyways, which they had half rounds in it, U-bolts on the U-joint rather than full caps. What Jared did is he went down there with a U-joint puller, removed the full rounds from it, and then pulled the drive shaft section apart, the slide yoke apart, and then they were able to just hook onto the truck and yank her home. Take it easy, Paul. We'll catch you at the next one, right? So we are just over 3 hours into the live stream here, and the camera that I'm filming this on is about out of battery. So we're going to have to close this live stream out. I want to thank everybody for joining in. It's a slightly longer than the usual live stream, but about the same length as the ones that we used to do here years ago. But with that being said, take her easy, folks. I will catch you guys at the next one. We'll have a video out tonight, 7 o'clock my time. And we'll see where the roads take us as far as being in areas where we can do these live streams. So take it easy, folks. We'll catch you at the next one.